Welcome to Spread the Good with Full of Heart Homes. Today I'm going to tell you how and do my best to show you how I make amazing shredded chicken sandwiches. I'm also going to talk about new construction homes. So one of the things that I do is different from most people, and this is the main reason I wanted to show you how I make this, is I don't use forks to pull the chicken apart, to shred the chicken like most people. I used to, and it bothered my wrists, and it was time consuming, and my wrists would get just tired, fatigued from it. So I found out from someone years ago that you could use a hand mixer. So I'm going to show you how to shred the chicken with the hand mixer. It's so much easier and faster than using forks, and it works just as well. So first of all, it's important you know how to cook the chicken. You can cook the chicken a variety of ways. You can smoke it, you can barbecue, you can bake it, whatever. For shredded chicken, I prefer to slow cook it, because then it becomes more tender and juicy and easier to shred. It's harder to shred in the other cooking scenarios. So that's why I slow cook it. Then for seasoning, I use McCormick slow cookers, barbecue pulled pork seasoning. Okay, and I mix that with a half cup of ketchup, a half cup of dark brown sugar. I always use dark brown sugar when anything asks for sugar, because it's has a more rich flavor. And then I add some about a half cup of apple cider vinegar, and then for Worcestershire sauce, and that's how you pronounce it, Worcestershire. Most people don't know how to pronounce it. It's Worcestershire, and I put a little bit of this, adds some sweet but kind of a barbecue-y flavor to it. And then I also add liquid smoke to get a smoky flavor, because I did not barbecue the chicken, so I add smoke to it because I like the smoky flavor. So after I shred the chicken, I'm going to pour the sauce I made with these ingredients in it and mix it up, and it's all ready to go. All right, so let me show you how I shred the chicken. So here we go. Start on low. See, it blends right through that. It's all shredded. I even have it just on low. And look how easy it shreds the chicken. Way faster and much easier than using two forks to try to pull that chicken into shreds. Now it's time to add the sauce. And again, the sauce is made with a half cup of ketchup, half cup of dark brown sugar, the McCormick's pulled pork seasoning, the slow cooker pulled pork seasoning, Worcestershire sauce, apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of liquid smoke. You don't need a lot of the Worcestershire sauce or liquid smoke because they're very strong. You'll need a little bit of each one of those. Now I put in a little bit more chicken than I usually do in here, and I did not increase the amount of my ingredients. So the amount of sauce in here is not as much compared to the amount of chicken as I usually have, but it should still be good. And I don't put any, well, when I cook the chicken, I make sure it's covered with water, just barely covered. And it cooks in the slow cooker on high for 4 hours. But I drain the water out before shredding it, because I don't want the sauce to be runny. All right, so I've gone ahead and put the shredded chicken in my hamburger buns. And I'll take a bite out of that in a minute and give it a taste. Every time I make these, it comes out a little different because I don't measure all the ingredients, especially the very flavorful ingredients. I kind of just put in the amount that feels right in the moment based on how much it looks like I'm putting in, and of course the smell test. So I'll test that in a minute, and every time I'm surprised. But one thing you don't want to be surprised by is after you've purchased a brand new construction home, you don't want to be living in it for a little while and then realize, oh, the floor's kind of breaking apart there. Like the boards are pulling apart. You don't want to see that surprise. That's not a good surprise. All of a sudden the doors are not hanging straight. You know, there's a large crack that seemed to come out of nowhere. You don't. These are bad surprises. And the thing is, you can't just assume that because a home is a brand new construction that it doesn't have defects. Okay, it's very common for new home builds to have defects. So it's important that you hire your own home inspector that has experience with new construction builds to inspect it before you close on the home. Okay, you don't want to go with the builder's home inspector because they work for the builder. They're not going to represent you. Hiring a home inspector for yourself, an independent home inspector, would represent you. And the best way to make sure that you have the best representation in buying a brand new construction home is to hire a realtor. A realtor is not going to cost you anything, so there's no point in not hiring a realtor when you're buying a home, even a new construction build. New construction builds, again, they have defects that are going to be more difficult for you to notice than a professional inspector. So it's important to get those inspectors otherwise you can have some major problems down the road that you're going to have to pay a ton of money out of pocket to fix or not be able to fix at all. It is a great time to buy a new construction home if it's something you're interested in doing, because builders are trying to sell their homes as quickly as they can, and they're having a hard time doing that. So there are builders out there that are actually selling their brand new construction homes at cost. So they're making no profit on it. They're selling it at cost because they need the funds to move on to their next projects. And so it's a good time to take advantage of that. Remember, a house is not a home until it's full of heart. Have a wonderful day. You deserve it.